Hey there traders, thanks for joining me for this free video from thestockbandit.com. Hope you've had a great weekend and you are prepared for the week ahead. So let's take a look back here and see where we stand. For the week last week, we saw the indices continue their run higher. For the NASDAQ, that meant an actual upside acceleration, a breakout to the upper side of this 7-week uptrend channel. So clearly this move has gone a long time, and it's gone a considerable distance from these December 19 lows that we saw across the board. For the NASDAQ, that move right there represents greater than 15% over the course of 7 weeks, so it's been a huge move. Now, Friday, something meaningful happened as we broke out and cleared last year's highs. So we made new 52-week highs. We broke these May highs right here at 28.87 for the NASDAQ by closing at 29.05, just 3 points off the high of the day. And it also took this index to a 11-year high, which number one tells you that we've gone a long way over the past 7 weeks, but number two, it reminds you that people who bought in 2001 waited 11 years to get their money back. So those who are big proponents of the buy and hold strategy are getting a good reminder here of just how long it can take to just break even. So that reminds us as traders that there's big advantages for those of us who are willing to trade when conditions are favorable and then shift to the sidelines when they're not. So for the NASDAQ, obviously we're continuing to run higher here. It's a stretch market. It's a tough market to be getting long at this point before we see some kind of rest or pullback, and yet at the same time the buyers are not yet showing their signs of fatigue. So we'll continue to watch for that in the days and weeks ahead, but really short-term level to be watching here for the NASDAQ is for this gap from Thursday's close to Friday's open to possibly be filled on a pullback. That goes down to 28.59. And other than that, we'll just need to monitor the upper end of this channel and see if we are able to continue accelerating up and away from it, or if instead we dip back and kind of maintain this channel here going forward. Now, for the S&P 500, we saw this index has kind of put in a little bit of rest here in the last few weeks. And that's not meaningful rest, meaning I would not expect this base to really produce a new huge continuous run higher or to necessarily serve as major support on a pullback. But it did produce a little pop on Friday, and now we're up here challenging a couple of levels from last year. We've got this late July bounce high, 1347, just a couple points beyond where we closed on Friday. Beyond that is the kind of earlier part of July from last year at 1356. That's that little high right there. And then we've got the May high right here at 1370. So coming into some important zones here for the S&P, again, after a sizable move off the December low and then just a little bit of short-term rest here, now it's starting to lift once again. The Dow is kind of hanging in there as well. Friday it lifted up and got within 7 points of last year's high. So that's at 12,876. Really respecting that level. And if you actually flip over here to the weekly chart, the next level beyond that 52-week high is going to be right up here. It's around the 13,136 level. That's from May of 2008. So we'll that's again not a major level, but it is kind of the next level for this index to possibly respect on the way back up. And then finally, I'm going to show you the small cap index, which is the Russell 2000. And this index accelerated out of its uptrend channel on Friday with a nice 2% plus gain, and now it's up here heading towards some key levels as well. For the Russell, we've got this 843 right here. Beyond that, we've got 855, and then we've got this level right up here, which is the 860 zone. So we're coming into some important zones here for the Russell as well. You can see that we spent a lot of time last year between these two levels. Again, that's really this 814 area up to 855, 860. So we're entering that zone here. We'll continue to watch the price action and see if those levels are respected. But for now, we're really ramping higher here after what's been a 17% move here off the December 19th close to where we currently stand. So it's been a huge run, but again, the buyers are still in control. The bears really feeling powerless at this point. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Remember, the market will move both directions. I know that that's seemingly obvious, but right now everyone seems to think that stocks might not ever go back down, and that's really driving us higher. So be careful out there, manage your risk accordingly. Have a great trading week. Thanks for watching. I will see you soon with more videos, but in the meantime, trade like a bandit.